Hello there and good evening. My name is Hinda and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to unwind skeins of yarn. So you might have seen in stores and when you buy yarn, there's all kinds of different shapes of yarn. So there's, let's say, this one that's called a ball of yarn, or I think this one is also considered a ball of yarn. There's this kind, which I think is considered a cake of yarn. Then there are these ones that are called a skein of yarn. Now skeins usually are more fancier yarns, so wool or all kinds of different alpaca, I think, and I don't know what. But the one that I have is actually just plain 100% acrylic. It just looks fancy because I personally don't have the courage to start using wool. It needs a lot of tending to. You need to wash it correctly, you need to block it, whatever, etc. I prefer to just stay safe with acrylic. But anyways, these ones came in a skein shape. Now there are special tools for unwinding a skein like this one, and then you have the ball winder that winds it into like a cake. But if you're not such a big skein user like I am, I mostly use balls of yarn, then if you do happen to have a skein, you don't have to go and buy some big tools to unwind it and make it into a ball. I'm going to show you a very easy way of how to do it with absolutely no special equipment and just plain furniture that you have in the house. So let's get started. I'm going to begin with this one, this nice beige skein over here, and I'm going to use the exact same armchair that I was sitting on just before. You can use either an armchair, or I even did it one with two chairs with the backs together. That creates a wide enough space, and anything like that should work. First, we're going to open the skein. So you can see it's tightly like wound around. Okay, it just opened already. And it should always have a little thread here. See, I found this little thread over here that basically holds the whole thing together, because a skein is basically made out of just a bunch of huge circles of yarn. That's how they wind it up, like this. Just like this big circle of yarn, and then they fold it into a skein somehow like that. So once you have this open, it should all be collected still. So this one actually has two things that are holding it together. This one has a thread of a different color. I don't know if you could see, it's white. That's just holding, it's actually holding it in like two sections together. And it also has over here, which this has the ends. This is from the actual yarn itself, and this has the end, so like this it's easy to find the beginning and the end of the skein. So before I open it, I'm going to put it on the back of the armchair. So I'm just going to open it wide like this and place it around here. This armchair is perfect because it's exactly the right size and it stretches it out a little bit. Like this, it keeps it nice and neat and sturdy. So now I'm going to take off this thread over here, the extra one. Let me just find the scissors. Got one. This one I don't need at all. It's just the extra one. And now I'm going to find that ends over here. Here it's on this side. It's basically a knot with both ends of the skein of the yarn. And I'm just going to snip off this knot over here so that I have it open. Okay. So now it's a little bit wound. I'm just going to take it out a little bit so that I have the beginning. Here we go. So I got the end over here, and now I'm going to start unwinding it, going around and around the armchair. So once I have some, I'm going to begin turning it into a bowl. And while I'm pulling, I'm winding. Pulling and winding. Pulling and winding. Now sometimes it could get a little stuck, so you just need to like turn the threads around a little bit to unstuck it. And sometimes you could get like this thread over here that it's trying to come off the big loop over here. So just quickly put it back in its place, because otherwise it's going to start getting tangled and you're just going to get way too complicated. So if you see any threads that are starting to look like this or even bigger, just make sure to quickly put them back in their place, discipline them, and they should stay where they are and shouldn't go anywhere. And you continue going around and around. Here you see it was a little tough over here. I'm just softly pulling it till it gets looser. And like this. Oops, you see they started to come off over here. Quickly putting them back down. And I'm going to begin, take this off my palm and continue with the ball. And that's basically how you do it. You just go around and around, winding it up as you go. And as long as you keep it straight and steady, it shouldn't get knotted at all, and you should be able to make this whole thing into a nice, neat little bowl. To save a little effort, instead of going with your hand around and around, you could take out a little bit by itself. Just be careful it shouldn't get tangled. And then wind it up. And then it makes it a little easier instead of having to go around and around each time. Like this, you pull out a little bit. Oops. Pull out some and then wind it. So you could choose to do that. When you're getting towards the end, it could get a little loose and shaky and just threads going here and there. So just try to keep it as neat as possible and just keep everything down so that it shouldn't get tangled. And here we're almost done. Don't be afraid to push it as low as you need so that it should be tight. Because it's worth it to keep it neat. You want to save any untangling necessary. You don't want to untangle. Towards the end, it's probably better to unwind some and then wind it on the ball instead of going around and around, and like this you have more control of what yarn comes off and it shouldn't get tarnished. See, I'm keeping it in its place until the very end, not letting it go away from its place, so that we have a smooth and neat journey all around. And that's it. We're done. Look at that. So I just went from skein to this neat little ball over here without any equipment, any special tools, just this armchair over here. And it was so easy, and it took me about half an hour, maybe even less. So it goes pretty fast, and I didn't have to untangle at all. And it was just so much fun to do, and went actually so fast because it was so easy to just take it off. I haven't yet decided what I'm going to do with this yarn. I have this beige and this brown one that goes very nicely with it. So I'll probably pair them up. I'm not sure yet what to do. At least I'll have the ball already unwound and ready whenever I want to start a project. I hope you enjoyed and you found this helpful, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.